Oh shoot, music. Gotta get some music. There we go. We're going to be listening to Benny Goodman and his orchestra, 1935. Again, records are pretty neat where you can just flip the disc over and it plays some more music. So that's what we did. We just flipped it over. Oh, ahoy, ahoy. That's September 29, I think. Day 207. I'm going to do 20 bookish questions. I was tagged by Leslie at the Nerdy Narrative. She is the friendliest, nicest person. And she is one of 5 booktubers that I'll watch from start to finish, because she's got some great content. She reads a lot of books that other people don't and that I'm very interested in. And so I'm very thankful she tagged me. Hello and stuff. So we're going to go through these 20 questions and see how this goes. I'm not very prepared for this, as you could probably already tell. I'm sorry. So the first question is, how many books is too many for a series? I'm going to say 7 is the limit. Harry Potter stopped at 7. I wish, and then Game of Thrones should be 7, but we'll see how that goes. But I don't think I've read anything longer than 7. Number 2, how do you feel about cliffhangers? It's kind of ridiculous questions. I love cliffhangers, unless it's a 7-year gap between books, like for instance, Dance of Dragons. Number 3, hardcover or paperback? I am a big fan of displaying hardbacks, but I have some paperbacks. I don't think it really matters, but I'd say hardbacks were probably my favorite. Favorite book? Storm Swords by George R. R. Martin. Number 3, The Game of Thrones. I read this book after season 3 ended, and so the last half of it is season 4, so that was all new content to me, and I absolutely fell in love with this book after reading the second half of this book. It is just, it's ridiculous. If you've only seen the TV show, you are missing out on some great content. I gave it a 4.8 out of 5, which is my highest ranked book ever. Get out of here, cat. Number 6 question, love triangles? No, easy question, absolutely not. Number 7, most recent DNF. I don't really DNF books very often, but I do have 2 under my belt. The most recent one is Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. This is my most recent. I was in a reading slump for a couple of years, and we started a book club, me and my buddies, and this was the number 2 book, and I got about 30 pages in, and I stopped. It's not because it was bad, it was 100% my fault. It's not you, it's me. Least favorite book. You know, Belcanto is my least favorite book. Dumake is number 3. Number 2 is one I haven't mentioned yet, and that is Year 1 by Nora Roberts. It is a fantasy book, but it's more romance, and it was complete trash. It was honestly the worst book. I've never been so angry finishing a book. That's a lie, frickin' Mallory. Last book I recommended, it is Smoke Gets in Your Eyes by Caitlin Doughty. It is a memoir about her experiences in the crematory, and she talks about death and our view on dead bodies, I guess, and it is such a necessary book for mostly everybody to read. What's the oldest book according to publishing date that I've read? And I think it is, I'm sure it's not true, but the one I have is Atlas Shrugged. It was published in 1957, and it's a classic, and I'm not going to recommend this book to anybody because you have to make that decision yourself. What is the newest book according to publishing date? Mallory. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about that shit. What is my favorite author? Number 12. This one might surprise a lot of people. It's Lee Child. He is a author of the Jack Reacher books. When I was in that reading slump for 2 years, I read about 10 or 12 Jack Reacher books, and that's all I read. So my favorite author is the author that kept me reading throughout the years when I didn't read very much. And I did not mind Jack Reacher books, honestly. I think I will pick them up again. Lee Child did a lot of research for each one that he wrote, and he's wrote so many Jack Reacher books. But the only issue with them is that every book is about the same premise or outline. Jack Reacher finds himself into some issues or problems or whatever, and he's got to fight his way out, and he meets a girl, and and they fall in love, and then he's got to split from her and then go his own way. Every book's the same. Buy or borrow. Before COVID, I only borrowed, and it was alright. After COVID, I've been buying books, and I might be addicted. Book you disliked, but everyone else seemed to love. The first one that comes to my mind is Shadow and Bone. This is a young adult fantasy book that I saw all over YouTube, and when I read it, I have never been so disappointed in Booktube before. But, that being said, a lot of people loved it when they were kids, and I read it as an adult, and I think that was an issue, so it's kind of unfair to judge this book. My next one is Malice. This one, a lot of people love and are continuing with the series. I don't get it. It's good, but there's just better series out there, I think. I probably will continue with it, but probably not. And honestly, why I think I don't like it is because it's got a little scuff right there when I came in, and when I was reading it, I always felt it, and I was just angry reading it. So that's pretty unfair to that book as well. What book am I currently reading? I'm reading 3 books currently. The first one is 11/22/63 by Stephen King. I'm a few pages in, and I'm loving it. Oh boy, am I loving this book. The second book is House of Leaves. Has anyone read this book? Because this is a... The third book I'm listening to on Audible, and it is called Chaos Rising. It is a book recommendation by Leslie from the Nerdy Narrative, who tagged me in this video, and I am absolutely loving it. It is the second Star Wars book I've ever read. I don't know anything about Star Wars. I am scared that it ends well. Then I'm going to have to read more Star Wars books because this is such a good book. Number 15, Bookmarks or dog ears. Is dog ears when you put the corner over like some savages do? Is that what dog ears they are? Whatever. If that's the truth, then Bookmarks. Books that you can always reread. Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I read that for the second time this year, and I plan on reading it again next year. I picked up so much stuff the second time around, and it made the second book so much better. When I first read it, the second book had issues. As everybody that's read these books understands what I'm talking about. The second time I read it, those issues are gone. I loved every bit of it, and I'm excited to read it again. Can I read while listening to music? No. That's ironic. 18, one point of view or multiple? I don't care. Sorry, question. You probably were the worst question on the list. Do you read a book in one sitting or multiple days? I am not a savage or a crazy person. I have to read a book in multiple days. I don't know how people read a book in one sitting. I have such ADD through the roof that people that can do that, it just amazes me. I tried to do it. The smoke gets in your eyes, but I read too slow, and by the time it hit midnight, I couldn't say I read it in one day. Who do I tag? Who do I tag? I tag Crack a Book with Tina. She commented on my video, and I'm so happy with her. So I'm going to tag her, have fun with that. And then JessieMae, the queen of the shelf space server. Have fun with that. And then also my sisters that I know are watching this, you can make a video, right? That'd be kind of interesting. That's it. Not a very exciting video, I'm sorry. I don't even know what I'm wearing. Gross. Toodaloo, have a good day. I plan on doing one more video this week. Not that you care. Ow!